Hi friends, welcome back, or if you're tuning in for the first time, welcome to the channel. In today's video, we are going to take a look at 2-hour sewing patterns. So these are sewing patterns that you can sew in about 2 to 3 hours. So I have a few videos on this channel that is titled 2-hour sewing patterns, but these videos are a little outdated. So today I want to update the list and share with you some fall patterns that you can sew this year that are roughly 2 to 3 hours to sew. Now, don't worry if you don't have any sewing skills at all. There are many patterns on this list that you can sew with relatively no experience at all. So with that said, let's get into today's video and let's take a look at 2-hour sewing patterns. So the first pattern that I want to share with you today is a little bit of an older pattern, and I have shared this pattern in previous videos, but it is so good that I want to share this again today. And that pattern is the Simplicity S9469. So I have sewn this pattern so many times, and there are many pattern reviews as well as sew-alongs on the channel for this pattern. One of the sew-alongs that come to mind for me is the sew-along by Alex. She goes by A Mason Lifestyle. She has a very detailed, oriented, step-by-step tutorial on how you can make this pattern. Now, this pattern, while it is very easy, there are some techniques that might not be good for beginners. And I'm talking about people who have no experience with sewing at all. So you do have set-in sleeves, and you are going to be placing ties around the neckline. You do have different options with your sleeve pattern. You have a bishop sleeve that has a cuff. You also have a bishop sleeve that has an elastic. You just have your front, your back, and your sleeve pattern, and then you also have facing patterns as well. So you have somewhere between 4 and 5 pattern pieces. It is very easy and simple to sew. So those of you who are at the intermediate or advanced stage, you will find this to be super easy to sew. I think it is a great and fantastic pattern that you can sew this fall. Next is also a little bit of an older pattern, but it is such a classic, and it is a wardrobe staple in my opinion. You do have different separates that's inside of this pattern, and I absolutely love it. I've sewn the cardigan out of this pattern, but I haven't sewn the others, but each one of these will take about 2 hours to sew. And this pattern is the new Look N6735. And guys, everything that I am mentioning in this video is on the Simplicity website. You can either purchase it on the website or go into the store because they are in stock. I also want to say that there are many of these patterns that you can also purchase by buying a PDF copy or a PDF file. And so make sure you check the Simplicity website when you are looking at these patterns, and look at the drop down menu for the size selection as well as the different options that you have to purchase this pattern in, because many of these patterns have been updated, and Simplicity or the Big Four, I should say, is now offering many of these patterns in PDF files. And so for those of you who are in the UK or other parts of the world who can't get these patterns as readily as those of us in the US, you might want to pay particular attention to the PDF files that they offer with some of these patterns. So again, let's take a look at this new look pattern. It's the new Look N6735. You get a top. You can do a short sleeve or a long sleeve, and you also have a cardigan pattern that is really nice, that has a band around the neckline. You have a skirt pattern where you only have a front and a back and a waistband. And then you also have a pant pattern that has that same feature or that same detail, front, back, waistband. So easy, simple if you want to sew something fast and easy for fall. Next, we have the Burda style Easy 6059. This is a top pattern that comes in sizes 8 to 18, so you don't have much in the way of sizes. With New Look and Burda, they usually stop somewhere between 18 and 20. Sometimes they go up to a 22, but you're not going to get those extended sizes that you see with Mccall's and Simplicity and Know Me. You're not going to see extended sizes. However, for those of you who are looking for these types of styles, do not worry. I have a few other patterns in mind that I want to share with you that are indie patterns that you can sew, or are other patterns that have a larger size range. So this is a little bit of a smaller size range. Like I said, 8 to 18. It is super easy. Again, you have your front, your back, and your sleeve, and you can sew this in a long sleeve or a short sleeve. And it's similar to a tee. And so it is really simple, easy, and you can sew that for fall as well. If you want something that has a little bit more pizzazz and you want to give a little bit more flair to your top, I would suggest the Simplicity S9273. This is a little bit of an older pattern. However, the sleeve variations that they have here are just so wonderful. You have different sleeve variations. You have a sleeve that has a gathered shoulder head, and you also have a sleeve that has some ruching as well. So this would be a really great simple top pattern that you can sew if you want to have more features in your top pattern, but you don't want to have any kind of closures like buttons or any of that. The gathers are another way that you can like just spice up your pattern without actually having to do too much work. I also like that they include an option where you just have a regular sleeve that don't have any gathers or any type of poof of a sleeve or anything like that. So this is definitely a great pattern to have in your wardrobe for pretty much any season, I think, because you can also put a layer on top of it so that you're not cold in the late fall or the winter. So the tops that I have been sharing with you so far have been knit tops, but if you want a top that is made with a non-stretch woven stable fabric, I would suggest the Butterick B6797. This is a pullover top. It also has a front, a back, and a sleeve, and I believe you will have facings for this project here. It comes in sizes extra small to extra large, and I think that that would be a really great pattern instead of like sewing with a knit. If you want to sew with a woven fabric, this would be a really great alternative to a really simple pattern that has the same kind of silhouette and the same style as the knit patterns that we've been looking at. Here's another pattern that's very simple and easy, but it has one slight detail that will elevate the garment, and that is the Burda style Easy 6366 top. So this is a top that is meant to be sewn with knit fabrics. You can use any type of jersey or a sweater knit, a light sweater knit as well. And so that's why I really like this, because you can definitely sew with different types of fabrics. And so depending on the type of garment you want, you can choose your fabric accordingly. And so this is a really easy, nice top for that reason. Now, I like the little detail that they have. It's a tie detail that's at the lower edge of the long sleeve. And so I think that is a really simple detail that can give your garment a little bit of spice. And so if you are looking for a top pattern that you don't have to do too much, but you also, again, want to have a feature that looks really, really elegant and cute, this would be a great top pattern to choose. Next, we have the Butterick B6966, another knit top, very simple and easy to sew. You do get a bonus pattern, so there are pants in this pattern as well, and so I really like that. The size selection, you can choose 6 to 14 or 14 to 22, and so you do have that as an option as well. If you want to have a knit top with a pair of pants, that's a great pattern to go with. Next, we have the new Look N6620, which is one of my personal favorites, and I've sewn this many times. Come in sizes extra small to extra large, and it is a knit top, but be careful. Make sure you look at the back. The back of the garment does have like this V neckline, and so you can actually wear this top to the front or to the back. So it is a reversible top pattern, if you will. So you can wear it on either the front or the back. If you wear it on the front, you have a high round neckline and a V back. If you wear it in the front, you have a V neckline and a high rounded neckline back. And so it does have long ties, and it's just a beautiful, beautiful pattern. I love this pattern. I've sewn it many times, and I definitely would recommend this one for those individuals who are advanced beginners who want something really nice, stylish, and want like a V neckline. This would be a really nice pattern to go with. So let's talk about some indie pattern options. So the first on the list is the Friday Pattern Company tee, and this pattern is amazing. So I absolutely love that. First of all, it's very simple and easy. It has a high round neckline. It is a knit top, but what's really nice is the size range. So this go all the way up to a 7X. I absolutely love the inclusivity of this pattern. I love it, love it, love it. And that's one of the reasons why I love Friday Pattern Company. And as a bonus, this is a PDF file. However, this is a pay what you want pattern. So what that means is you can pay or donate whatever you have in order to get a download of this pattern. So you can get it for free, or you can pay upwards of $15. Next, we have the Mandy Boat Tee pattern by Tessuiti. And this is also a free pattern if you download it. But if you want to buy a paper copy, it is 18 Australian dollars or 12 US dollars. So this pattern also has a really great inclusive size range. I'll make sure that I put details to the patterns in the description box below, so you can click on the link and you can find out all the size ranges with the indie patterns, because I can't remember all of them. But go ahead and click on those links and you will be able to go over and check out all these beautiful indie patterns. So I like this because it has a drop shoulder and you have a lower sleeve that you're attaching to the drop shoulder, which makes it really easy. You don't have to worry about setting sleeves. And then you do have this really classic fit, and you have a front, a back, and a sleeve pattern that completes your pattern pieces. I absolutely love this. And again, it is a free pattern if you download it. Next, let's take a look at the Hansie top by Seam Work Magazine. This is a relatively easy pattern to sew. You only have two pattern pieces, the front and the back. The sleeve consists of a dolman style sleeve that drops to about the fullest part of your bicep. It is just such an easy sew. It's probably the easiest sew that's on this list. And so beginners, this is for you. This is a beautiful pattern, super easy. If you're new to downloading PDF files or printing out and taping out PDF files, this would be the perfect file to tape and to experience with, because it consists of very few files. Because of the style of the garment, you don't have that many pattern pieces, and so this is going to be so easy to sew, so easy to print out and to tape up. I definitely recommend this if you are wanting to get into indie patterns. So let's go ahead and switch gears here and let's talk about dress patterns. And the first dress pattern that I want to bring your attention to is the Olivia dress by Style Art. And again, make sure you check the description box below for links to all of these so that you can check out the sizes and things of that nature. So this Olivia dress is very similar to the Hansie top in that it's very simple and easy. It has your front and your back pattern, and that's it. You do have an additional step where you are going to be elasticating the waist, but that will be so simple and easy to do. The pattern has a very good size range, and I believe that it goes all the way up to like a 70-inch for the waist, and obviously that's before you put in the elastic. So it is very simple and easy, and it has really great sizing, and it's very inclusive, and so I would definitely recommend that for beginners as well. Next, we have the York Pinafore dress, and many of you are probably familiar with this dress because it's very, very popular. This is a dress pattern that is by Helen's Closet, and it's just super easy to sew. Again, you have your front and your back pattern pieces. You have additional pattern pieces that you can place on the garment if you want to spice up your garment. So you have pockets that you could place on the front, but those are optional. So I think that this would be very fun and easy for individuals who want to sew a dress but don't want to get into putting in all the work, like putting all the bells and whistles, like the buttons and the zippers and all that stuff. This would be a really great pattern to go with. I love the York Pinafore because you can actually layer it in so many different ways. You can put tops underneath, or you can put cardigans over top. So this is definitely a really great pattern to go with if you are wanting to sew a dress pattern that's really simple and easy. So let's switch back over to commercial patterns, and let's take a look at the Simplicity S8874. This is another beautiful, easy to sew pattern. I've sewn this many times, and you can purchase this in sizes 10 to 18 and 20W and 20W to 28W. What I love about this dress is that it's really simple and easy. It is basically your classic knit dress. You can find dress patterns like this all over the internet. You can find them in indie pattern companies as well as commercial patterns. And so you can always find something that's very similar, even if you don't see your size range in the big four with this particular pattern. You can definitely look for this classic silhouette because it's one of the most popular silhouettes. So you have your front and your back bodice piece, and then you do have a lower skirt that you are attaching to the front and the back bodice piece. So you have a front skirt and a back skirt. You do have to sew a little bit more with these patterns than the previous patterns that I've shown you because you do have additional seams. So the front skirt is going to be cut twice, and so you do have a center front seam, and the back skirt is going to be cut twice, and so you do have a center back seam, and you also have your side seams as well. So just keep that in mind. You do have additional seams. However, that should not take away from the amount of time it should take you to complete this project. This is simply a very, very easy sew. I absolutely love it. Every single time I sew it, I just feel like a princess when I put my dress on. So I absolutely love this one, and I definitely recommend it. If you want to sew a pattern that does not require knit fabric, I would suggest the Burda B6366 dress pattern. This is a pull over your head dress. Now, I want to caution you, you do have some pleating around the neckline, but that should be relatively easy. You only have a few pleats around the neckline. The size range, however, may deter you depending on where you fall. They are saying that this pattern comes in sizes 20 to 34. So that's kind of like in your plus size range. So it's going from entering from the beginning stages or the later end stages of your regular sizes and entering into that plus size. And so this is a pattern that's not going to be for everyone. However, it is a great pattern for those of you who can sew and if you fall within that size range. Next, let's talk about some skirts. The first skirt that I absolutely love is the Lana skirt, and this is by Sew Over It. This is your basic pencil skirt. It's simple, very easy pattern, and the size range is phenomenal. They have regular sizes as well as plus sizes, and the plus sizes, I can't remember exactly the sizes, but they're very inclusive. So I absolutely love this one, and I would recommend this skirt pattern if you like pencil skirts. There are a few pencil skirts out there. They're so simple and easy to sew. You can find them throughout all the big four and also throughout indie patterns as well. I just happen to like this one, and it's pretty popular, and so that's why I'm recommending this one. If you're looking for a skirt pattern that has a simple zipper closure, I would encourage you to look at the new Look N6793. This is a new pattern that came out in the New Look Fall 2024 collection, and it comes in sizes 6 to 18. Now, this does have a zipper. However, it should be super easy to sew in terms of like the number of pieces that you have. You only have your front and your back, and you do have some facing pieces. The only challenge would be the zipper. And so if you are someone who you have skills with sewing with zippers, I think this would be a really good pattern to go with. Also, a similar pattern would be the Mccall's M7931. Now, the new look pattern goes up to a size 18. However, the Mccall's pattern goes up to a size 22. So you do get a few more sizes with the Mccall's pattern. I also think with the Mccall's pattern, I'm not quite for certain about the new look pattern because I haven't purchased it yet because it's so new. But with the Mccall's pattern, it is a bias cut skirt and you are cutting out your front and your back pattern piece one time. So instead of cutting them on fold, you're cutting them out one time. And so it is a relatively big pattern piece. So just keep that in mind. With the new look pattern, I don't know if it is a variation of the Mccall's M7931. If it is, it might have that same printout there. But if it isn't, you might be able to save time and energy by just putting your folded pattern piece on the fold of your fabric. Another great pattern that has a zipper closure is the new Look N6757. This is a pattern that I've just sewn myself, and I've made, I think, 3 or 4 different skirt variations with this. It's a really nice pattern. It comes in sizes 10 to 22. It does have that top pattern as well, and that top pattern is going to be easy to sew as well. I do like this. And again, if you are someone who have had experience sewing with zippers, this will be easy. If this is not something that you are familiar with, if you're not familiar with sewing with zippers, I would definitely tell you to hold off until you actually get more sewing experience if you are looking to make something within 2 hours. If you don't care about that and you just want a really great pattern that has a good zipper in it, this would be a really great pattern to sew. Next, I would suggest the Butterick B6986, which is a beautiful wrap skirt. Now, this is advertised as a retro wrap skirt. However, this is a really classic wrap skirt that you will see throughout all of the big 4 and even throughout some indie companies as well. These are always on trend, and so I would definitely encourage you to get this pattern. It comes in sizes extra small to large, and you just have really one long wrap dress that wraps around your body. And so it's really simple and easy to sew. Another great wrap dress pattern would be the Burda 6340. This comes in sizes 8 to 18. And again, you have a really nice, good wrap. The back is cut twice, and I believe the front is also cut twice. And so it's a little bit different than the Butterick pattern. However, that's a really great option as well. If you don't want to do anything with wraps, ties, or with zipper closures or anything like that, I would suggest the Butterick B6799. This is a simple A-line skirt pattern that has your back and your front, and then you also have an elasticated waist. So this is your most basic skirt pattern that you can sew. And so if you're looking for something that's easy to sew, that would definitely be a great pattern to go with. Next, let's talk about pants. So the next pattern that I want to share with you is a wardrobe pattern, but each one of these patterns within this envelope can probably be sewn within 2 hours separately. So this is the Butterick B6948, and it comes in sizes 8 to 16 and 18 to 26. You have an unlined jacket. You also have a skirt, a dress, a top, and a pair of pants. So the pants is what I was focusing on because we're entering into talking about the pants. However, you can definitely sew the dress within 2 hours as well because you only have the front and the back and you have facings. For the pants, you have the front and the back and you also have facings. So those are relatively easy. I think the jacket is going to be a little bit more detailed, but you can definitely sew the dress and the pair of pants within 2 hours. Next, let's talk about the Simplicity S8299, which are skirts and pants. All of these variations within this envelope you can sew within 2 hours. I love that you get skirts and pants in this envelope. And so if you want a pattern where you want to create like a really simple wardrobe, I would definitely encourage you to get this one because you can get your skirt and your pant pattern within one envelope, and they are very simple and easy to sew. You can buy this in sizes 6 to 14 and 14 to 22. Next is the Simplicity S8841. This is a little bit of an older pattern, but it is also a very simple, easy pattern. You have easy to sew pull-on pants. You have the front and the back for your main pattern pieces. You do have these oversized pockets that you could place on the front of your garment and a tie belt as well. The waistline is elasticated, and you should be able to sew this within 2 hours, honestly, because it is very simple. Next, let's take a look at the Butterick B7001. This is another wardrobe pattern. You get 3 different patterns within this envelope. This comes in sizes 6 to 14 and 16 to 24. I love the pants in this envelope because they're really simple and easy. You have a flat front waistband and an elasticated back. And your pant leg, you have a straight leg for your pants. You also get 2 bonus patterns. You get your camisole, and you also get what they're calling a jacket, but it's really a duster. So I absolutely love this because you can create, again, a little mini wardrobe here with this collection of patterns that's in this envelope. So definitely a really great pattern to buy if you are looking to sew things that are easy, relatively easy, and quick. The new Look N6711 is another great option, especially if you're looking for a pair of pants that are made with knit fabric. I really love the fact that this comes with also a cardigan and a top. You can definitely sew the cardigan. I'm sorry, you don't get a top, it's just a cardigan, but you can definitely sew the cardigan within 2 hours if you omit the buttons. And you can get, again, another great set with this. It comes in sizes 8 to 20, and you have a V-neck cardigan in 2 different lengths, and then you have your pull-on flared pants. So that's a really great option if you're looking for a pattern that is calling for knit fabrics. Next, the Simplicity S9714, the view with the pair of pants only, can also be sewn within 2 hours. This pattern comes in sizes 8 to 16 and 18 to 26. You have a flat front waistband and elasticated back, and you can sew this as a pair of shorts as well as a long pair of pants. So I absolutely love this one, and I think that would be really great to sew this fall season. My personal favorite, the Simplicity S9376, is my absolute go-to pattern when I want to make pants. It also consists of a flat front waistband and elasticated back. You have so many different views here, but the view that it's going to be the easiest is view D because it doesn't have the pin tucks and all of that stuff and the elastic around the lower edge of your leg pant there. But this is going to be a really great, easy project to sew. I've sewn it many times and I absolutely love it. Next, let's take a look at sweater, dusters, and cover-ups. The first sweater pattern that I like is the Know Me ME2002 by Brittany J. Jones. Come in sizes 10 to 18, 20W to 28W, 30W to 38W. So you get a great deal of sizes here, which I love. This is actually a top pattern, but you could definitely use sweater fabric with it, which I did a couple years ago, and I absolutely loved it. It has this really nice mock turtleneck that's not too restricting around your neckline. You can sew a sleeveless variation as well as a sleeve variation. It has slits on the side, like an open vent on both the right and the left side of the body, which is really nice. And you can sew a tie belt, and you can definitely sew this within 2 hours. I've done it. I've sewn a couple of variations, and I absolutely love the pattern. The next pattern on my list is a pattern that I will always recommend because it's one of my favorite sewing patterns and one of my go-to when I want to create a layer for my fall pieces. So this is the Simplicity S8655, a Mimi G pattern that consists of a duster and also a pair of pants. For the purposes of this video, we are focusing on the duster. I absolutely love that duster. It is a very simple, easy sew. I would say that it would even take maybe 1 hour to sew. It is just that simple, that good. I love the pattern. The jeans, I'm not too sure about. That might take you a little bit of time. It does consist of a zipper, and you do have to put pin tucks in it. And so that might take you a little bit more time. However, the top itself, absolutely stunning, easy, quick. You can get that done really quick. Next, the Burda B6107 is a really nice duster. Again, if you're looking for a duster that's not knit, I focused on a lot of knit patterns throughout this video because those are usually the patterns that have the least amount of pieces, pattern pieces to them, and that are really quick and easy. But this is one that would be so quick and easy that does not require knits. You have your front, your back, and your sleeve pattern. This is a pattern that requires you to put to inset your sleeve, but it's still nonetheless very simple and easy to sew. The Mimi G Simplicity S3010 is another great pattern that you can sew if you're looking for a really nice sweater. The button details may, deter some of you. However, I think that it would be such a easy make, and you can always omit the buttons if you don't want to put buttons on as a closure. Some of these cardigans and these dusters that require for you to put buttons on can be omitted, and I would definitely say think about omitting buttons if that is a concern for you. You can always belt it or do something to kind of close, or even use a frog closure or anything like that to close your garment if you really want to close your garment. But this would definitely be a simple and easy sew. Each piece within this wardrobe collection you can sew under 2 hours. I'm certain of it. It comes in sizes 8 to 16 and 18 to 26. And I'm really interested to see other people sew this in the sewing community. I've seen it sewn up by Mimi G, and she's made a few variations, and she always looks stunning in the variations and things that she make with her patterns. But I'm really interested to see people in the sewing community get on this one. But this would definitely be a great pattern for fall. Next, the Simplicity S9925 is also a really great cardigan that you can use. Now, if you follow T, she goes by Creativity by T. Her name's Talisha, short for Talisha. Her name's T as well. And she just did a series on her channel where she showcased her summer wardrobe collection. And in that collection, she talked about this pattern here. She sewed this as a set. She sewed the top and the cardigan. And so it might be worth your while to go over on her channel and look at how she styled it and what she sewed and all of that stuff. This definitely would be an easy make. She said it didn't take her that long to sew it. It's just a really simple, easy jacket pattern. If you're looking for a cover up or a bolero or anything like that for the fall, this definitely would be a really great pattern to go with. It comes in sizes 6 to 14 and 16 to 24. And I think they also have plus sizes as well. Next, I would suggest the Burda 5883. This comes in sizes 8 to 18, so we have a smaller size range. However, it is a really nice, heavier winter, I would say late fall to early winter sweater. Love, love, love this. It is a simple cardigan, and it doesn't take very much to sew with that either. Next, we have the Mccall's M8456. The tops within this pattern. I don't think the pants are going to be 2 hour friendly, but the tops definitely come in sizes 10 to 18, 20W to 28W, and 30W to 38W as well. So that's a really great knit top, sweater knit top for the fall. I think that you can also sew for this fall. Next, the Burda 6093, another great pull over your head top pattern. It is a knit top pattern. You have a slit on the side of your top with a bow detail. Come in sizes 18 to 28. The size range is a little odd. They don't have any regular sizes for this, but it's just kind of like your semi-regular to plus size, semi-plus size. It's in that, middle phase there. So we don't have a lot of sizes with that. Lastly, my absolute favorite pattern is the Simplicity S9385. This is one of my favorite patterns, and I've sewn it time and time again. Absolutely love it. It comes in sizes 6 to 14 and 16 to 24. I wish they had expanded sizes for a lot of these because this is such a really great pattern. And I would love for my plus size friends out there to be able to get a hold of this because it's a really great pattern. I love it. It's just a nice pattern. You have different sleeve variations, different neckline variations, different hem band and length variations. It's just such a really great pattern. I loved this pattern from the very beginning of when it first came out. And I've sewn it pretty much every year since it's been out. And I absolutely love it. I think it is one of the best patterns in terms of sweater patterns out there. So anyway, that is my list of the 2-hour sewing patterns that you can sew for fall of 2024. If you know of any sewing patterns out there that are worth mentioning, please put them in the comment section below. This is my list. Obviously, there are so many different great patterns out there that you can sew that are easy 2-hour projects. But if you find any, please make sure that you put them in the comment section below so we can take a look at those patterns as well. I hope you all had fun with me today and you enjoyed the video. If you did, please make sure you give it a big thumbs up. If you're new to the channel, please consider subscribing to the channel if you like today's content or any of the content on my channel. I hope to talk to y'all in the next video. Bye, friends.